Hello, and welcome back to Storytime with John. I apologize for a brief hiatus. I went to a bar mitzvah. Anyways, today I will be reading to you one of my most favorite stories. It's the novelization of the first Pokemon episode. Hope you enjoy. Cock-a-doodle-doo. The rooster's crow roused Ash from his sleep. He rubbed his eyes and looked out the window. The sun was already high in the sky. "Oh no!" Ash cried. "I'm late!" He leaped out of his bed and ran out of the house. Squirtle, Bulbasaur, Charmander, any of them is fine. Just please save one for me, Ash thought as he sped down the road. Breathless, Ash finally saw Professor Oak's lab ahead. A long row of steps led up a hill to the big, white building. At the bottom of the hill, a large crowd had formed. Gary, he's our man. If he can't do it, no one can," a group of cheerleaders called out. "I've already missed it," Ash thought. He ran through the crowd, accidentally knocking down the cheerleaders. "Hey, watch where you're going," said an angry voice. Ash looked up. He'd bumped into Gary, another kid his age and Ash's biggest competitor. He was holding a red and white Pokeball. "Sorry, Gary," Ash stuttered. "Mr. Gary to you. Show some respect," Gary replied. "Well, Ash, you snooze, you lose. I've got a Pokemon and you don't." Ash couldn't believe it. "You've got your first Pokemon?" "That's right, loser, and it's right inside this Pokeball," Gary said, sneering. "And it's the best one. It helps to have a grandfather in the Pokemon business." The crowd cheered again. Gary waved and set off on his journey. Ash's heart sank. Since Professor Oak was Gary's grandfather, he probably did get the best Pokemon. How could I let a bully like Gary beat me? Ash thought. I've just got to get one. Ash ran up the stairs, right into Professor Oak. "So you decided to show up after all," the professor said. "Are you sure you're ready?" "Of course I'm ready," Ash said. Professor Oak looked up at Ash and down. "You look like you're ready for bed, not for Pokemon training." Ash cringed. He was still in his pajamas. He was in such a hurry, he'd forgotten to change his clothes. Blushing, Ash replied, "I just got messed up this morning. I was a little late, but believe me, I'm ready for a Pokemon." Ash followed Professor Oak up the steps and into the lab. The large room was filled with shiny silver machines. In the center of the room was a silver table with a glass dome on top. 3 Pokeballs sat underneath the dome. Ash began to get excited. He was finally going to get a Pokemon. Professor Oak pushed a button, and the dome opened up. Ash turned to Professor Oak. "I've thought about it a lot, but I'm not sure which Pokemon I should choose," Ash said. Professor Oak opened up the Pokeballs. They were all empty. "I'm afraid you don't have a choice," he said. "These Pokemon were all taken by trainers who were on time." Ash was devastated. "Does this mean I don't get a Pokemon?" Professor Oak hesitated. "There is one left, but I'm not sure. There is a problem with this last one." "I don't care. I'll take it," Ash pleaded. The professor pressed a button on the table. A small circular plate in the table's center slid open, and a Pokeball emerged. The professor handed the ball to Ash. "Here's your Pokemon, Ash." Ash held the Pokeball in his hands. A real Pokeball. The ball opened up. Bright flashes of yellow and electric light filled the room. When the light stopped, a Pokemon sat in front of him on the table. "Pikachu," said the Pokemon. Ash was thrilled. The Pokemon was about a foot tall, bright yellow, with brown stripes on its back. It had pointy ears, red circles on its cheeks, and, best of all, a tail shaped like a lightning bolt. "That's its name, Pikachu," the professor explained. "It's so cute," Ash said. "It's the best one." The professor smiled nervously. "You'll see." Ash reached down to pick up the Pokemon. "Hi, Pika!" A jolt of electricity surged through his body. Pikachu was shocking him. "Pikachu is a lightning mouse," said the professor. "It's usually shy, but it can have sometimes an electric personality." Thank you for joining.